And don't forget to use your vision benefits before they're gone. VisionWorks. See the difference.
Border Bowl 9. Get tickets now at wjbf.com/borderbowl.
We dealt with rain and clouds over the last few days, but bring out the sunglasses today. The sun is finally coming back, and it's going to be a beautiful Sunday. More details on that coming right up.
Now on Good Morning Augusta, money from the federal government after a failed project at SRS, the governor's plan for the money. Plus one CSRA community came together to give children a special Christmas. We'll show you how. And later, COVID-19 continues to surge in the U.S. We'll have more on the pandemic. Details as your number one source for local weekend morning news starts right now. And broadband expansion efforts. Some customers of Aiken Electric Cooperative are still without power this morning. Officials say a power pole broke on North Silverton Street in Jackson. It has since been repaired. Crews have found another one, and more than 70 people are affected. One viewer reached out to us on Facebook and said power was out ever since 11:30 last night. We have a link to the company's power outage map on Wjbf.com. And now is a great time, if you haven't already, to download our WJBF News app. Not only are you able to get news and weather, but you can also stream our newscast straight to your device if you ever have a power outage. President Biden has approved emergency declaration for Kentucky after severe weather tore through the state. At least 6 states impacted by the weather, including 22 reported tornadoes. Rena Roy is on the ground in Kentucky with more on the devastation.
Here, this is where my patients would sit.
Mina Smith walking us through the remnants of her livelihood. What was once a waiting room,
This is our waiting room.
now gutted. The roof totally blown off of her mental health clinic in Mayfield, Kentucky.
Here was our upstairs office.
Complete devastation all around this small town.
When the sun started coming up this morning, it was like matchsticks. Our whole town looks just like matchsticks lying around.
This candle factory destroyed. 110 workers feared inside. Kiana Parsons Perez recorded this video moments after the collapse.
Hey, y'all, they got me out.
There have been 22 reported tornadoes across 6 states.
This is likely to be one of the largest tornado outbreaks in our history. We're going to get through this. We're going to get through this together, and the federal government is not going to walk away.
In Bowling Green, Kentucky, drone video shows the scope of the devastation after an EF3 tornado with winds up to 150 miles an hour touched down. A team now going door to door assessing the damage.
It's just overwhelming. People have lost their homes, lost their lives. It's just, there's no words for it.
Another EF3 tornado struck this Amazon facility in Edwardsville, Illinois. Officials confirm at least 6 fatalities.
There's a lot of heavy concrete and steel down inside the building.
In northeast Arkansas, this nursing home ripped apart, killing 1 person and leaving 5 others hurt.
And driving through this area, we have seen miles of devastation, and officials say search and rescue efforts are still underway. Rena Roy, ABC News, Mayfield, Kentucky.
And coming up in our next half hour, we'll hear from a first responder on the scene at the nursing home where the tornado touched down. It's time for a check of your forecast with Jenna. And Jenna, thankfully, we're not experiencing anything like they are experiencing out over different parts of our country. But the rain is not going to be here anymore. So tell us a little bit about our forecast.
Yeah, we did have that same front come through our area yesterday that brought those tornadoes, but fortunately for us, we were spared from any severe weather. And the good news is that we actually did get some heavy rain, which was much needed throughout the area, so no complaints there. But right now, as that front is moving out of the area, we do still have some clouds lingering this morning. Notice light winds. The flag is not blowing too much on our Jiffy Loop Sky Network Cam at Augusta Regional. It's also a much cooler morning due to that front passage, so 50 degrees right now in Bushfield. Visibility is fine this morning, 51 at Daniel Field, 47 over in Aiken Regional. Notice the temperature change over the last 24 hours shows we're 15 degrees cooler today in Augusta. And as we look at satellite and radar, there's that front now out to sea with some showers no longer affecting land. Those clouds will start to move out of the area very shortly. As I mentioned yesterday, we received some rain, just over half an inch in Augusta, so that's great news. Around the rest of the area, around 1/4 of an inch to half an inch. So yesterday's almanac shows that a few interesting things. We reached a high degrees above average. And for our rainfall totals now for this month, we are above the average. We are now 0.8 inches over that, so that's great news. For today, the sun will come out at 7:23 a.m. and it's going to be a very sunny day. And we'll only warm up into the low 60s though. Back to you, Sean.
All right, Jenna, thank you. Bring on the sun. Several Christmas parades have taken place across the CSRA, and another one is happening today. In Aiken, the Aiken Jessies will hold their 2021 Christmas parade. It kicks off at 2 p.m. in downtown Aiken. The gift of music will be given for free in Burke County this week. A holiday concert will be held at Burke County High School in the auditorium on Monday. It kicks off at 7 p.m. It's a part of the Waynesboro-Burke County Concert Series. For more information, just look for the story on WJBF.com. And Thursday, you are invited to an hour with Representative Jody Lott and Senator Max Burns. It's expected to be a live forum discussing up-to-date information on their bills and current affairs. The event will take place at 6 p.m. at My Rancho Restaurant, and that's on Gateway Boulevard in Grovetown. Coming up in less than 4 minutes, now is the time to think about insurance plans for the new year.
Now, your most accurate forecast with WJBF Live Viper 6.
Good Sunday morning. We're starting out very cloudy on our Jiffy Lube Skyway Network cam at Augusta Marriott. Notice a thick layer of clouds, but the sun is starting to come out, and you can see those pretty colors in the distance. And those skies will begin to clear shortly, so don't worry about that. 50 degrees as our temperature right now. We have a north wind of 7 miles per hour, and around the CSRA, we're starting out chillier in our northwestern counties. 45 in Lincolnton, 43 in Washington, 49 in Evans, where down towards the south, it's a little bit warmer, sitting in the mid-50s. Notice our temperatures across the southeast showing some very cool conditions out towards our west. 39 in Jackson, 36 in Birmingham, 40 in Montgomery. So we're actually on the warmer side of things. And as we look at the temperature change, some spots around the southeast are much colder today than yesterday. It's 34 degrees colder this morning in Birmingham. Same story in Jackson. For us in Augusta, we're just 15 degrees cooler than yesterday. Satellite radar for the CSRA showing those clouds moving through. This is where that cold front's located. So once that passes, we will have clearing skies behind it and high pressure moving in. Overall, notice a much less active big picture compared to yesterday morning when we had a series of tornado watches and severe thunderstorm warnings. Now things are starting to settle down. That cold front is now moving out to sea. So for your afternoon stroll forecast, the sun will come out by 12 o'clock. We won't warm up much today, though. That cold front is bringing in a northerly wind, so some cooler air will be in town, but we will make it into the low 60s. Notice yesterday from that frontal passage, we did receive a good amount of rain in Augusta, just over half an inch, putting us under 2 inches for the month of December, which is actually above average. So that's great news. However, we could still use some more rain in the area. Notice our drought monitor is actually worsening more so than improving. We now have moderate drought conditions covering most of our counties. And as we look at the two-state view, things are getting worse towards our northeast as well. Charlotte, Lancaster, Florence, South Carolina, in a severe drought now. So rain chances this week not looking too good, 0% all the way through next Saturday. But as I mentioned, we are over our average amount of rainfall for this month. So at least we have that going for us. And as we go into this week, we will have a warming trend. Notice a steady incline going up into the mid-70s by the end of this week, well above average for this time of the year. And looking at our temperature outlook, we are going to be above average as we go into the week of December 18th to December 22nd as well. So it's looking like it's going to be a warm start to the holidays. Futurecast showing a steady northeast wind throughout the area. Skies will be clear today with a lot of sunshine, no rain to worry about in our forecast. High pressure over the area over the next couple of days with no rain to worry about, so it's going to be a beautiful next couple of days. And here's a look at our 10-day forecast. No rain all week long, mostly clear skies until the end of this week. Then we'll have some clouds building into the area, and finally some chances of rain next week. And as I mentioned, Sean, we're going to be warming up back into the mid-70s. Super warm for this time of the year.
That is warm. And you guys were over at the Walmart in North Augusta. How did that go?
It was great. It was really nice to see everyone that came out. So thank you so much. If I got to meet you yesterday, thank you, and thank you for your donations.
And who won the contest?
I would think Tim and I. We got some really good donations, but we weren't able to count. So we'll just assume.
Sounds good. And we'll be right back.
Toyotathon is on with great year-end deals on your favorite Toyotas. Best stocking stuffer ever.
Right now, get 0% APR for 36 months on a new 2022 Toyota Corolla. Toyota, let's go places.
Bring out the sunglasses because we have a lot of sunshine for the next few days. Also, a big warm-up coming. Highs will be in the mid-70s and our lows will be well above freezing. More details on your forecast coming right up.
Right now on News Channel 6 at 5, Columbia County's district attorney sits down with News Channel 6 what Bobby Christine says about students who make threats against schools. Plus, after devastating tornadoes tore through. Now on News Channel 6 at 5, Columbia County's district attorney sits down with News Channel 6 what Bobby Christine says about students who make threats against schools. Plus, after devastating tornadoes tore through parts of Illinois, Kentucky, and Tennessee over the weekend, we'll show you how people here in the two-state are helping those affected. And former South Carolina attorney Alec Murdaugh back in court this morning facing several new charges. Your news at 5 starts right now.
Live from Television Park, this is WJBF News Channel 6 at 5.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Jenny Montgomery. Thank you so much for joining us. Coverage you can count on continues now as law enforcement investigates threats against schools. They're warning you that you could face serious jail time if you're found and convicted. It could ruin your future. Here's News Channel 6's Chloe Salsameda.
Threatening a school could land you here in court. The district attorney says he takes these crimes very seriously and will prosecute you to the fullest extent.
The CSRA has seen a wave of school threats from Hepzibah to Burke County and Jefferson County.
And has very real-world consequences.
The threats canceling classes and forcing schools to go on lockdown. What starts as a prank could be life-changing.
At the very minimum, this is disrupting of a public school, but also the direct threat that has now been included is now considered a terroristic threat.
But even in juvenile court, these children could be subjected to 1 month, 18 months, 24 months in jail.
And older teens could face even harsher consequences. In Georgia, they can be charged as adults beginning the day before they turn 17.
A terroristic threat, which these are, could wind up being as much as 5 years incarceration for a 17-year-old in adult court.
The charges may not stop there. You could face more if the threat is made on social media. And parents could be charged as well.
If we find that they are without proper supervision, if they're left to their own devices, these may be children in need of services, and the parents may be held accountable.
Law enforcement asks that parents speak to kids about the dangers of making these threats before situation escalates. In Columbia County, Chloe Salsameda, WJBF News Channel 6.
Recovery efforts continue in 5 states hit by a cluster of tornadoes Friday night. At least 74 people have been confirmed dead, and more than 100 people are still unaccounted for. One tornado was on the ground for an estimated 227 miles. That's longer than any other ever recorded in the United States. President Biden announcing he will travel to Kentucky on Wednesday to survey the damage. Some local families are reaching out to help those who have been impacted by those devastating tornadoes. You know, they have destroyed more than 1,000 homes in Kentucky. News Channel 6's Dernisa Jefferson joining us at KMO, where they're collecting donations to send those families. Dernisa?
Jenny, I'm standing in the middle of KMO warehouse, and this space is where dozens of donations will be collected to send to those families who've been impacted by those devastating tornadoes. And leaders here at KMO say that they're collecting dozens of items, including non-perishable food, blankets, diapers, pet food, clothing, basically anything that can help these families. They're collecting items this week and then driving them to Kentucky next weekend.
They have nothing. I mean, that whole city and towns are wiped out. So we just want to help them. This is the Christmas, and Americans are used to giving to other Americans, and that's all we want to do.
If you would like to help out and donate, you can drop off those items right here at KMO. They're located at 1326 Reynolds Street. Reporting live, Denise Jefferson, WJBF News Channel 6.
It is time now for a first check of our weather with meteorologist Jenna Petracci. And Jenna, it is really beautiful outside today.
Yeah, we had a lot of sunshine today. Temperatures are very comfortable. Notice our sun is getting ready to set on our Jiffy Lube Skyway Network cam at Augusta Regional. Not a cloud in the sky this evening. Sunset will be at 5:22 p.m. Sunrise will come up at 7:25 tomorrow morning. Temperatures right now sitting in the 60s. 63 in Augusta, 59 though in Thompson, a little bit chillier over there. 61 in Aiken, 67 in Louisville. Wrightsville, you're at 63. Saluda only at 55. Current wind speeds are coming in from the northeast. Very light. Everyone is under 5 miles per hour. And for our dew points, also very low. 29 is that dew point in McCormick, 41 in Augusta. And for satellite and radar, not seeing any clouds even moving by the CSRA. Notice all those clouds are well to our south and southern Georgia and parts of Florida. We have high pressure over us, keeping us nice and dry. So we don't have any rain to worry about tonight or for the next few days. Temperatures will begin to drop into the mid-50s by 8 p.m. Clear skies sticking around the entire evening, and it will be a chilly night, 39 by midnight. So what we can expect this week is a lot of sunshine. It will be a dry work week. Gradual warm-up going up into the mid-70s by the end of this week, but then by the weekend, a cold front will cool us down and also bring us some rain. Back to you, Jenny.
Jenna, thank you so much. A judge has granted a $7 million bond and set conditions for Alec Murdaugh on state grand jury charges. Murdaugh's facing 21 separate charges ranging from breach of trust, computer crimes, money laundering, and more. His lawyer read a statement today in which Murdaugh confessed to taking more than $4 million from the family of Gloria Satterfield, which was meant as a settlement in her wrongful death case. Bond was set at $7 million with several conditions, including opioid addiction treatment, which must take place in South Carolina. The jury pool in the federal hate crimes trial of the men convicted of killing Ahmaud Arbery could include the Augusta area. Both prosecutors and defense attorneys asked a judge to seek the jury from the 43 counties that make up the Southern District of Georgia. That includes the entire News Channel 6 viewing area in Georgia. Jury selection will start February 7th.
They will bring in a panel that's reflective of the community and probably quite a large panel to ensure they get a panel that is represents a cross-section of the community.
Gregory and Travis McMichael and William Roddy Bryant were all convicted of murder in state court last month. They have pleaded not guilty to the federal charges. A Hephzibah man is in jail charged with attempting to sodomize another man. Warrants accuse Terrell Johnson of forcing his way into a man's room at the Motel 6 on Boy Scout Road. They say the alleged victim had a knife and stabbed Johnson, who ran away. Johnson is charged with burglary and criminal attempt. President Biden is coming to South Carolina this week. He was named the keynote speaker for the South Carolina State University's class of 2021 commencement ceremony. The president will address the class this Friday at the Smith Hammond Middle Memorial Center at 10 a.m. U.S. Representative Jim Clyburn was initially scheduled to speak. However, he'll be receiving his own degree that day. A South Carolina Sheriff's Office is sharing a warning about break-ins this holiday season. Greenwood County Sheriff Dennis Kelly says car break-ins are common this time of year. He says unlocked cars are easy targets, so be sure to lock up. And he says be mindful of what you put on the street after the holidays, too. Empty boxes in the trash show what's inside your home.
A lot of these individuals ride around at daytime and see these items, and then they'll come back, at night under darkness.
Sheriff Kelly encourages people to trim back any shrubs or bushes near your home. He says it helps with visibility around your home. Columbia County's first ever Christmas light fight has been a huge success. The competition, inspired by the TV show, is winding down, and the community has voted for 3 finalists. Columbia County will announce the winner of the competition on their Facebook tonight, December 13th.
We ended the voting altogether with over 47,000 votes, and we were very, very pleased with that. We had 8 families. They all were great, very unique with their displays, and we look forward to continuing this for years to come.
While voting is closed, you can still see all of the participants' displays by visiting the county's website or their Facebook page. You can find that link on our website, wjbf.com. We have a big show for you tomorrow on Jenny, featuring a sweet farewell interview with a nonprofit dynamo. She's Bets Murdison, the longtime leader at Augusta's Ronald McDonald House. We'll catch up with her as she gets ready to retire later this week. Also, big focus on women's health with Dr. Ron Eaker. He's a local physician and author who has a lot to say about your health span.
And a big part of health span is prevention, is identifying things that, whether it's nutrition, mental health, activity level, supplements, whatever it is that can be begun, the earlier you begin those things, the less insult you get, the better the health span.
He has so much important information to share. We'll hear a lot more from him. And we have a few surprises when you join me tomorrow at 12:30 for Jenny. Still to come, the Biden administration announces a new election. The main staples for families, namely the price of gas and groceries, getting higher. Inflation is increasing at its fastest pace in about 40 years. For the most part, it's still being blamed on the pandemic and supply chain issues. At the same time, the economy is improving and people are planning for higher wages or already receiving a bit more. Economics professor Richard McGrath says the issue for most families is whether paychecks can keep up.
A lot of households lose a little bit of ground every year. And now the concern is they're going to lose a lot of ground, right? If they don't get that raise that covers the cost of living.
Inflation is now almost 7% higher than it was a year ago. Coming up, meteorologist Jennifer Tracci has a look at your Viper 6 forecast. Plus, we are getting behind the scenes, a special look behind the scenes at the magic of Christmas at Biltmore.
Get 1.9% APR financing on the 2022 ES350.
Now, your most accurate forecast with WJBF Live Viper 6.
We have a stunning sunset this evening. Here's a look from our Jiffy Lube Skyway Network camp over in North Augusta. If you live around this area, I definitely would recommend going outside and going for a walk. Enjoy this beautiful view. Temperatures are also awesome right now. 63 right now in Augusta, dew point of 41, and we have calm winds around the area. CSRA showing temperatures in the 50s for some of us. 58 up in Edgefield, 55 in Saluda, 63 in McCormick, 67 in Louisville. Overall, feeling pretty mild and comfortable across the entire area. As we look at the two-state view, notice it's a little bit cooler towards the north, 57 in Greenville, warmer to the south as expected. 62 in Brunswick, 66 in Savannah. Satellite radar across the two-state view showing none of us are seeing any clouds unless you're in southern Georgia along the coast. But besides that, high pressure over the area, keeping us nice and dry. Notice as we zoom up, you can see not much happening across the area today. But what we do have is a moderate drought. Notice this covers the majority of our counties. Dry conditions for some of us as well. So we could definitely use some rain. And it is looking promising as we go into the next 6 to 10 days. Here's a look from December 19th to December 23rd. It looks like we could be slightly above average when it comes to our rain chances. Now notice 0% all the way through Friday, but there's a look by the time we reach those 6 to 10 days. That'll be by this weekend when we'll have a 20% chance of showers, then 40% on Monday as we have another cold front passage. Now this week we will have temperatures rising. It's actually going to be back into the mid-70s, believe it or not. Average high for this time of year is only 62, and even today we were above that. We'll continue to stay in the upper 60s for the next few days until we warm up into those 70s. Here's a look at your evening planner. It's going to be a mild night with clear skies sticking around all the way through tomorrow morning. Now when you wake up, it will be chilly, so be sure to bundle up. We're going to be waking up just above average, or above freezing, sitting in the low 30s, warming up up to 40 degrees by 9 a.m. with mostly sunny skies. Notice our future cast over the next 48 hours. We will have some clouds moving in mostly to our south though, so expect another mostly sunny day. High pressure staying over us. All that rain will be well to our west. Once again, a cold night and cold morning tomorrow, waking up in the upper 20s for some of us, low 30s for the rest. So mostly sunny skies tomorrow with mild temperatures, slightly warmer than today, going up into the upper 60s. And for the next few days, we have a lot of sunshine, increasing clouds by the end of this week, where we'll be much warmer in the mid-70s. And then by the weekend, we'll finally have some much-needed rain, 40% by next Monday.
All right, Jenna, thank you so much. Have you been to the Biltmore House yet since you lived here?
But that's definitely on my bucket list.
Right. Well, it's a great day trip, and visiting Biltmore House in Nashville is so popular this time of year. Have you ever wondered about the work and whether all of that goes into creating the beauty each season? The Norway spruce is chosen each year from the same farm in North Carolina. It requires both man and machine to hoist it onto the lawn.
We bring it in with a crane every year, and we'll set it out into a base that's already built into the front lawn. We also have 4 anchor points that are pre-drilled into the front lawn.
The tree is 55 feet tall. It has 35,000 lights on it. Depending on rain or snow, it'll stay healthy into early January before the crews have to cut it down. Coming up, Christmas is now less than 2 weeks away, and if you're still looking for that special gift, we're taking a look at some popular ideas.